take that arm stroke, you're going to rotate right to your other side. So when I do the turn, my feet are facing upward towards the sky, and I'm pushing off the wall with my feet about hip distance apart, not too close and not too far away. You know, like going up for a basketball rebound, your feet are going to be hip distance apart because that's going to be the most power that you're going to get. You're not going to go up with your feet close together, and you're not going to go up for a rebound when they're really wide apart. So try to think of it as, you know, you're going for a rebound in basketball, and you're really trying to get as much power as you can possibly get.
This is a teaching progression of freestyle turns. We start off with a mid-pool somersault.
You lay flat and look at how my body is in its flat position. My head is looking down because I never lift my head into my turn. And as I flip, I'm bringing my knees as close as I can to my chest and flipping myself around. It's just like doing a somersault in the pool. Here we go again. I'm nice and flat, using my arms to help rotate me around. If you notice, my ankles are really close to my Speedo and my knees are really close to my chin.
She uses her hands to get her hips over quickly. She sculls with her hands back.
The next part of the progression is where you just do a foot turn right before you get to the wall. So you're doing the same thing that you did in the mid-pool, but you're actually stroking in and stopping right before you get to the wall. Look at the stroke with nice high elbows. Take my final breath, and then I don't breathe into the wall. Do the same thing, but I'm getting a feel for where the wall is. The next part of the progression is the same thing, but your feet actually land on the wall. So you get a feel of where you should actually place your feet.
Now she's going to put her feet on the wall, but not jump.
The next part of the progression is when you do a flip turn, but you push off on your back. You want to get the feel of pushing off with both your feet facing the ceiling. Nice and tight and streamlined, even though I'm on my back. This is going to teach me to push off on my back and then roll to my stomach. Here we're going to show the whole turn. And now how I roll to my side, nice and tight and streamlined. You want to make sure when you do your turn, you place your feet hip distance apart with your toes facing the ceiling. It gives you a better push-off, it gives you a stronger push-off to make sure that your velocity is the strongest at this point of your race. This is a full speed turn, not breathing into the wall, dropping my head down, not looking up for the wall, keeping my head in line, and pulling with the hand of the hip that's closest to the bottom of the pool.
And this is a very confident performance by Benko.
Every single day in practice, you can work on great finishes when you're finishing a set or even when you're just practicing. You know, I've only lost one really important race by 1/10 of a second. Can't even tell you how many I've won, but I do remember the ones that I've lost. You want to make sure that you're not finishing like this with your head looking at the wall. You want to make sure that you're finishing on your side with your head looking back. Look at how much longer my arm is like this than when I'm like this. When I'm on my stomach, I'm this long, but when I'm on my side, I'm this long. If you look, I take my last breath before the flags. I'm not breathing into the wall. I'm turning on my side, and my head goes to my shoulder. Nice and long, body in line, pushing with my fingertips to the wall first. I want to talk to you guys about the importance of strength and flexibility. Every day before practice, no matter what practice we're getting ready to do, we always do the same stretching routine for each practice. Since I've been at USC for the past 9 years, my flexibility has gotten much better, and I feel like that's helped my swimming ability. These are a few stretches that we do every morning and every afternoon before we get in the water. You know, just light stretches, but making sure that we're warming up our shoulders, warming up our hips and our legs, and our ankles especially, which is something that we've worked on a lot in the past couple of years that I feel like has made me a much better swimmer. As a swimmer, you especially want to make sure that you stretch out your shoulders. These are a few shoulder exercises that we do every day before we get in the water. We also want to make sure that our legs aren't super tight, stretch out our legs, our quads, our hamstrings. Make sure that we're really getting the most out of every stretch. And make sure you're holding the stretch and you're not bouncing when you stretch. Very important. I think stretching helps prevent injuries and helps make you a better swimmer. We also want to make sure that we stretch out our ankles. Ankle flexibility is really important in swimmers, not only if you're a breaststroker, but also if you're a freestyler. It's very important. These are a few ankle stretches that we do to help stretch out our ankles.
I know yoga is one of the very favorite activities that you have.
Yeah.
Can you talk about how it directly relates to swimming and core strength?
Yoga has given me the ability to become a lot more flexible, which I think is very important. And it's given me strength in different terms than weights has. And I think that it's given me core strength. I think it's given me, you know, I'm working different types of muscles than I do in the weight room. And I think that it's given me just kind of the peace of mind.
In your opinion, what's the most important things in order to be a great swimmer?
You have to be strong mentally. I think belief in yourself is the ultimate, and no matter what you're doing, not necessarily just in swimming, but in everything. And I think that if you believe in yourself, you're going to go a long way. I think the ability to set goals, the ability to say no, the ability to rely on other people, I think that's important, you know, because nobody's successful by themselves. You have to rely on the people that help you. In the physical aspect, you know, you have to be strong. Yeah, I feel like the strength and flexibility is a huge issue. I think that you have to have proper technique, and you know, I think that having a little bit of talent probably helps.
There's probably a lot of swimmers out there that have been doing the same time for a year or two. They've been on a plateau. You've had some plateaus in your career.
I've had a few, yes.
Tell us, how do you break through a plateau?
I think you need to give yourself the opportunity to realize that maybe you're not doing the right thing for your body, for yourself, that maybe you should try something different. You know, in high school I went the same time for 4 years, you know, and when I got to college it was just a change of scenery and more consistent training, and I dropped, you know, 3 or 4 seconds at a time. It takes a while to find out what works for you, and when you find it, you should stick with it. But don't give up easily.
You've been very patient and very perseverant.
Yes, you have to be very patient. Sometimes when, you know, people come away from, you know, a meet and they're like, why wasn't I better than I was at the last meet? It's not going to happen in 2 weeks. It's not going to happen, you know, may not happen in a year, it may not happen in 2 years. It'll happen at the right time. Believe in yourself, believe that you've done everything you possibly can, and do everything you possibly can to make yourself the best you can be.
That's good advice.
Thanks.